morning, Rabbi Sai. Nishma, Simi Mirosi, Ruspas Mordechai, Levi Friedman's in the house. Shalom Aleichem, Levi. Hayoim, Echod, Ve'esrim Yoim, Shehem Shlisha Shavuos, Lo'imer, Bo'imer, Yishkoyach, Dave, and whoever's behind these beautiful spheres of Oimer. It's not you? I don't know what it is. Okay. Kobe? Givaldi, Kobe Goldschmidt, Yishkoyach. Breakfast sponsor, Lance Solar, in honor of Rebbe Eli and my first complete year of doing the daf. Wow. Yishkoyach, Lance. So, where do you live? Modi'in. You've been here before. Yeah. So, a whole year. How's the daf helped you? Organize your life. In what way?
Come home, do the daf, and then my day starts.
Oh! Mosik midvash. Givali, these are great sandwiches over here. What is this? Avocado, cheese, eggs, the whole zap. Beautiful. All right. Shkoyach Lance should continue with us for many, many years to come. In good health. Rabbi Isai, a big announcement. We are doing a siyum on Masechtas Menachos in Bnei Brak, in our Manot Chen. We're looking for sponsors. We're expecting, I don't know, how many people you said? Where's Benny? How many? No, you're really expecting 1,000 people? 1,000 people. He's serious. Okay, 1,000 people. We're missing about $30,000. Bemis. We're looking for some. The event itself costs a lot more than that. A lot of it is taken care of by the owner of our Manot Chen, Moshe Cohen, who's a big, big part of the Hebrew Shir. There'll be a shir in Hebrew at the Siyum. It's for everybody, for the English speakers, the Hebrew, and we're going to have music, vocal music, a cappella. This is the sign in Hebrew. La fachet achol l'shas shel chulin. My son Moshe, says Gil Harris, is sitting right next to me. How you doing, Gil? Let's hold hands while we read this. My son Moshe found today's shir while we were out doing a non-denominational family barbecue. So in Hebrew, the AI did it. I'm reading it in Hebrew, and it says, oh, he took it out. It said lo dati, a barbecue lo dati. Like, oh man. As I attend live almost every day, it's not often they get to see the shir on screen. He was very excited to do the famous some Moshe barbecue in the woods. This was not staged. I told him I would send it and maybe it'll be famous. Gil Harris, here we go. Good morning, Rabbi. He needs to teach the Olam here in the English. That's how they do it in the Hebrew, but in the English, I want to show you something very interesting. You know that when the shir starts on video, there's a Reb Nachman Seltzer song. Dun, 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 dun. So they did. Vremi did one special for the sphere. I thought it was very cute. Whoa. And how about this one? Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDAF.com.
This is from Yishai Stroh. He says that he attended the satellite location in Miami. When I saw Serious Learning Miami, where all 20 people sat and learned the daf seriously, and that atmosphere was more serious even than the live shir in MDY, I realized that I made a mistake. If anyone in the crowd thinks like me, don't leave the daf when you're away. The satellite locations are as good and clear as being present in MDY. With all said, I'm still looking forward to being present again in the MDY area shortly. Yishai Stroh, Yishkoyach, we're looking forward. On a plane packed with movies, shows, and every possible distraction, Shragi had other plans. While everyone else was catching up on Netflix, he was catching up on Rebbe Eli. Daf after daf, the hottest new series out there. And with the Rebbe Eli, you just binge watch nonstop. Since the yeshiva doesn't allow phones and computers, Ben Azmanim was his moment when he took it seriously until the last second. Who needs in-flight entertainment when you've got the daf after daf with the Rebbe Eli? Best Leib as a gawi. Zagu. He's just binging. Daf after daf, beautiful. Very proud of Leib. Very proud. Check this out. He doesn't even know it's... Oh, dear Rebelli and the entire MDY team. I'm a 12-year-old. I'm using my parents' email. Who loves to do the daf with you. Today's actually my 100th day with you. As I really started putting on tefillin, dapping about tefillin really helped me with the halachas. In school, we recently started to learn Parshas Vayikra, and we learned the past few months, helped me with knowing the key concepts such as Tamura, Nidava Zu, and many others. Now that we're learning, and I'm starting to recognize some of the psukim from Vayikra that we learned in Menachos, here's a story about the daf for you. As I started, I wasn't officially part of MDY, as I was watching it on YouTube. In his mind, you become part of MDY somehow. I started talking to my friend about the daf and how he explained it clearly, and I have videos and charts to explain it. Especially hooked on the fact that the videos decided to start doing the daf. During midwinter vacation, he called and said they started doing the daf. He even started going to the first daf in Menachos and learning them. He was officially signed up. He's official. You get to sign up. So he went and invited me to join daf. After that, I signed up, and Shalom Al Yisrael. You hear? He says Shalom Al Yisrael. I think it's like it's yeah. Shalom Al Yisrael. Thank you, Rebelli, and the entire team for making the daf so enjoyable. Weiter. Avram Moshe Abramowitz, Menachos Daf Beis, 100 days wiser, he says. Very good. You heard that, Mendy? Weiter, this kid, 12-year-old kid. Tomorrow marks 100 days of Daf Yomi for me, another person. Wow, I didn't even realize I put it back to back, a kiss from Hashem. I think this is the longest I've done one thing ever. It's really hard, and sometimes I really don't want to do it post-surgery, when I've got the flu, when I'm feeling down and depressed, when I want to chill in the hammock all day, etc. Besides the learning aspect, the consistency by itself is life-changing experience, and if that were the only benefit, dayenu. After 2 years in a Tivari and then college, eventually accepted that my role in life is not to be a Goladar or even a Rav. I doubt I'd ever finish a Seder, let alone Shas. Now my kids brag about their Abba is working towards finishing Shas at 40 years old. If you told me 4 months ago that the kid whose family started keeping Shabbat after he was born would be on track to completing learning Shas for the first time by 40 and enjoying it too, I'd have laughed in your face. Thanks again for all you do for all of us, especially the working guys who never thought they could do this. And a big shout out to the Chevra who make it happen behind the scenes. P.S. Will we ever find out who the consortium is? With much gratitude, Ben Sion, sincerely Ben Sion Yeshua. And Reb Abba Renner, finally, regarding what you said jokingly in Shir, preparation for Chul, that if anyone is queasy over blood, we have a hard time with the visuals. Briske Maisa, once a younger man told the Rav that he had a hard time viewing a bris milah because of the blood. The Rav looked at him in surprise and said, "That's not blood, that's dam bris." Perhaps if we too view the blood in Chulin as an under din, as dam korban, it wouldn't have the same effect as regular blood. Hopefully that story will help those who can't look at blood. If not, we can always stare straight down into the Gemara until the videos are done, or we can have a sound effect like ding at the end of the blood, so that people that can know, they can open their eyes. B'yedidus Abba Rennert. Yishkoyach Abba Rennert. Yishkoyach for the unbelievable wine. Sent me geschmack of bottles. Sfiras Ha'omer is the Lefur's had more vision shlita. Kvay Kedushas Mor Rabbi Yisrael Ben Le'es Lefur Shlema. MDY Coffee Corner month. Kavrat Tefillah Committee Dalef Neimiyat Ha'omed. Official edition of MDY Shas Masechta. By the Iranian Levi families. Perik Anonymous. Lili Nishmas Nochem Tzvi Ben David Sholhoif. Zechor Livracha. Daf Kuv Beis. Lance Elaine. Solar and family. In memory. Oh, how do you know? You thought this is your 100th day. Wow. Sponsor. He's in the Gemara forever. The Gemara is just getting better and better. Aboisai. We're going to hire a full-time artist. Beis Hashem will have pictures almost on every. It's going to be. It's a whole. In memory. Oh, I didn't tell you. No. In memory of Peter and Bernice Solar and Mike and Barbara Rosengarten. Yeah, we're going to get full-time. Going to get. Masechta sponsors David Solomon in dedicated memory of Avi Meiri. Reb Shmuel Baruch, Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Livracha. Joel Gedalis, the Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalis, Anonymous, Hatzach Baruch Niziv Gashmis, the Palchik Family Foundation. L'zech Nishmas Rav Agoy, Reb Shlomo Palchik, the Meshet Seilui. Baruch Atoah Chayilom Shakol Yebed V'Goy. Namaz before Shlomo Eloh Moshe Ben Izah. Anonymous. Bum 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 bum. For a complete before Shlomo Narichus Yom to Leah Bas Esther. Israel Amalki Tov the Torah Smichov Malvei Zova Chesed. We're so proud of Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the Gross and family. Canby Island, UK. In honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Monthly sponsors: Ari Simon, for Shlema Avi Moiri, Baruch Ben Miriam, and by Kinnovations LLC as a schus for Kiva Simcha Ben Feiga and Rivka Yehudis Masyafa Chayo Yishakoyach. Weekly sponsors: Anonymous, for Shlema Yelad Yeshua Shalom Ben Yocheved Batya, for Shlema. Daily sponsors in honor of Kinnovations LLC, who teach us how to support MDY, the consortium. Who is the consortium? What does consortium mean? I have an idea. What does it mean? Like the group?
Do kind of business together and they buy things.
I might be sitting next to some of the consortium and we don't even know. MDY Art month. Refuah Shlema Yonatan Eitan ben Beshava Bracha. Refuah Shlema Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Hayeled Daniel Zev ben Hayeled Esther. The head of the consortium is Mendy Auerbach. Mamish Pass, no? The consortium. It's like he's the last guy on the list. Let me look around there. Who's part of the consortium? Yeah, you. You, Taka. All right. Avoisai. Gishmak is Sugya today. You know, one thing I forgot. I said it in the Hebrew Shir, and the following morning, I was like, we were finishing up and we were late. I forgot to say a very important thing. That one Amud that has one line to it about the Paraduma. So why is it only one Amud? Because the whole Daf is a Taisvus. So they say, the story goes that the Balei Taisvus in year Tuf Nun Vav were locked up in a shul, I think in Megenzi or something, and they knew that their life is almost over. The Goyim came and actually they died the next day. They were killed the next day. So they sat and they wrote this Taisvus. That's the last Taisvus that they wrote together. And somebody piped up in the Hebrew Shir and said they wrote it with their own blood. Okay, but that's the story. That's how it goes. Okay. Now, we're learning about there's a concept in Shas that if something's about to be done, let's say about to be thrown, so I can consider it thrown. We saw it. Also, if you're about to redeem it, you don't have to actually redeem it. It's as if it was redeemed. What else do we have in Shas that's like that? No, much better than that. Much better. Oh, Koloim Lisaref. Koloim Lisaref. If it's about to be burnt, it's burnt. Yeah, so that's today's sugya. Something that's about to be done, it's done. So now the Gemara, all we have until basically the bottom of Amud Aleph, the Gemara just takes us through a whole bunch of different cases in Shas. You have it by Tuma. Do we consider it food? Just to throw out a question here. Throw it out. The Gemara says it all the way at the end. A paraduma, what do you do with the paraduma? You burn it. So it's Omer L'Saref. So, but you didn't burn it yet. It's sitting on the stake over there. It's on the. You're about to burn it. It's on the wood. So Kol Omer L'Saref. You're about to. So it's as if it's burnt. If it's about to be burnt, it's burnt. So how do I view this paraduma? So is it a bunch of ashes? It's a bunch of ashes. Oh, a bunch of ashes. Then it shouldn't be Mekabel Tuma. The halacha is it's Mekabel Tuma. Why? It's about to be burnt. So when do you say it? When do you not say it? It's just something. So I just want to show you. We'll start off with the Milsa de B'dichusa at least. To start off with the Milsa de B'dichusa, I have to show you some of these pictures just to get you into it. Who are these children over here? Do you guys see what's going on here? You have Yossi Klein, you have Benny, he looks a little upset there. You have Mark Ashkenazi in the back, and you have Avi. I guess it looks like one of his kids, actually. All right, Rav Oisai, here goes. Take a look. I promise you, this is not how it's going to be in a year from now. The technology is going to change, but the way the guy speaks, it's just that itself is hilarious. But we're working on it. Whoever had this Rebbe, raise your hand.
Check it! I'm giving you a short Gemara quiz now.
That coffee stain. That.
Eli Stefansky, why are you throwing airplanes during the lesson?
But I didn't throw it.
Kol ha'oi medlisoik kazoik domi.
Rebbe, is he going to throw him out of the class?
No. I already threw it ki kol ha'umed lezarok dami.
All right. It's thrown out of the class. I threw the airplane and I was thrown out of the class. All right, so now, what we had yesterday is, do you need to see it again? Amanda, you look a little confused.
Much better than the one with the bulls and the.
No, you like the bulls. You just pretending you don't like it because you're part of that the place you daven. You let her release. You let her enjoy.
Watch this.
Time out. You meichel the bull thing. If I got a bacher to come to learn Torah because of it,
If it explains the pshat and the Gemara,
it doesn't matter. Let's say I didn't explain it. He comes to learn Torah now because he came yesterday. He was shocked because of this whole sugya. He thought he was going to get another soccer thing. No, he didn't come yet. All right, so let's say we have a situation where Reb Shimon says you have the blood in the cup. You could throw it. It's as if it's thrown. If it's thrown, then you're allowed to eat the carbon, right? Nacham or Rabbi said, be with me. It's kishmak. I'm telling you, it's good sugya. You have something that right now you can't eat unless you throw the blood. Throw the blood on the mizbech, you could eat. So we're going to view it as if it was thrown. It's not thrown, it's in the cup. And therefore what? I could get to eat it. I get to eat it. Now it becomes tummy. Because only if I could eat it can it become tummy. So I have to use the whole thing. It's as if I threw it. If I threw it, then it's edible. I could eat it. If the kohen throws the blood on the mizbech, the other kohen could eat the steaks. But he didn't throw it on the mizbech. It's as if he threw it on the mizbech. Oh, so if he threw it on the mizbech, then it becomes edible. It's tummy, right? That's what we have to chap. If it's edible, it's tummy. That's the Yesei Sugya. So now, ask the Gemara, we're like 8 lines from the bottom. V'halan. By the way, good news today. Big news. We're trying to get to the Mishnah on Amud Beis. So it's a shorter daf today. It's actually going to be hopefully a shorter shir than usual. So v'halan. Lan, what's lina? We said again, lina. I'm not going to show you the video. I showed it yesterday. Lina is when the carbon, the blood, whatever it is, remains overnight. V'halan, lifnei zrika, before zrika. That's one of the cases we had yesterday. The carbon stayed overnight before you were able to throw the blood on the mizbeach. But isn't this a problem? The mitzvah lemizrike, b'bay zarek. It's a mitzvah to throw the blood, and if he wants, he could. And therefore, but we said that anything that's about to be thrown, it's as if it was thrown. But you already established that there's no tumah, meaning that it wasn't thrown. If it was thrown, then it would be food. If it's food, it becomes tameh. But you said it's not tameh. That means it's not food. That means it wasn't thrown. What do you do? You're not. 78 years old. It's unbelievable. You're right. If there was a moment, one moment that he could have thrown, then I use this rule. Anything that I could throw, I threw it. I don't have to physically throw it. I could have. Okay, kalaroi lebila bila, ein bila matkeves. Kalaroi lizroi kizarg dami. I don't use that rule here. You know why I don't use the rule here? Because he did it by shkia. He shechted the animal a second before shkia. You didn't have that moment. So basically, there's 2 cases. If he had a moment before, then it's as if he threw the blood. Punkt happens to be over here. He didn't have a moment. So what's the Gemara's classic question? Classic. So then tell me a difference between these 2 cases. Why are you jumping to a far-fetched case? 2 very similar cases. One case is that the kohen threw the blood at shkia, so there's not a second that he could have thrown it, and therefore it's not considered food. And if it's not considered food, it's not tameh. And case number 2 is, no, he shechted this animal 5 minutes before shkia. So you had a 5-minute window. He could have thrown the blood, so it's as if he threw the blood, so then it's edible. If it's edible, it's mikabel tumah. Why don't you give me these 2 cases?
We're only talking about tumah here, right? No one says you can actually eat the carbon. It's not it doesn't have a heter of zukastan.
Correct. Halacha. In halacha. Listen, At the end of the day, Kol Ha'omed Lizrek Kizarek Dam, it doesn't say, oh, you don't have to do Zrika because it's Kizarek Dam. Of course you have to follow through and do Zrika. La halacha for this second. Yes. La halacha, whatever it applies, l'tuma, to chveis nishvas. No. It's just the ability to do it. But if he had a moment to throw the blood, it's as if he threw the blood, so then it becomes edible, and it becomes edible, it becomes tamei. So let's just show you the chart for a second. Check out. There's two cases that we said yesterday in the Braisa. One is Lina before Zrika, one is Lina after Zrika. Yeah? You have Lina. Those are the two cases. Ask the Gemara, why don't you just give me two cases that are much more similar? One is that he did Zrika. They were all Lina before Zrika, both cases before Zrika. But one, he had a moment. You give me a tchak now. You're saying, oh, he did it the last moment. He didn't have a second to throw it. Okay, so give me a case where he had 2 seconds to throw it. And the halacha will be the opposite. Just say within that case. One case is where he didn't have a moment to throw it, so it's not tamei. But if he had a moment to throw it, even 10 seconds, then it would be, the food would become tamei because it's as if you did throw it. Says the Gemara, you're 100% right. In fact, that's what it says. The two cases on top are identical to the two cases on the bottom. Lon lefnei zrika, lon la'achar zrika is shahos and not shahos. Lon koydem she'ira lizrika einoi metama tuma soichlin. If the lina was before it was available to do zrika, it's not metama tuma soichlin. La'achar she'ira lizrika metama tuma soichlin. Okay, another case. V'pigel. What about we had yesterday also? Pigel. We had Ellis come here and told us. What's this? What's Pinchas Chaim? Yeah, Pinchas Chaim Pinchas. Pinchas. If a person, a kohen, had a machshava in his head, he thought to himself that what I am, this Zrikas Hadam, let's say. Let's talk about Pigel for a second. Pigel, you could do in all 4 avodas. There's 4 actions that are taken when you bring a carbon, you makriv a carbon. First, you shech the carbon. Then you receive the blood, Kabbalah. Then you take the blood to the Mizbeach, and then you throw it on the Mizbeach Zrika. Zrika is the top, that's the most important one, that's the one that gives the kapara. Okay. But in each and every one of those 4 avodas, you could have a thought, like in this chart, that I am going to eat this animal in 5 days from now. I don't want to mix up the oilam, but you could also have a thought that I'm going to be maktir on the Mizbeach, because to put it on the Mizbeach is a type of eating. It's the Mizbeach, anything that has to do with eating and food, and Zrika is also. Fine. But that's not the point. The point is, let's just take one thing. The top left side, he thinks in his mind that he's going to eat this animal, the steaks that come with that animal, I'm going to eat it in 5 days from now. That's pigul. Now, once you do pigul, it becomes possible right away. Now, the Gemara says, well, pigul, the mitzvah, the mizrike, I have a mitzvah to do zrikas adam before I do pigul. V'boy zarik, and he has the ability to have kuvbez or medalev on top. V'boy zarik, viktani. This is a question the Gemara is going to ask, and everybody here should know the answer on the spot. The Gemara is just going through the steps. V'boy zarek, and he could throw the blood. Viktani, then emetam to mesoichlin. My lab, the pigul bezrika. So if we go back to the chart, he had from the time he does shchita to the time he does zrika is 5 minutes. So during those 5 minutes, he could have done zrika. He could have. How come it's not metama? I don't understand. If anything I'm about to do and I could have done, it's as if I did it. So I could have thrown the blood, and I had 5 minutes to throw the blood before I did the pigul. I had 5 minutes from the time I did shchita to the time I did zrika. I had 5 minutes, and I could have had a machshava. I could have thrown the blood, and if I could have thrown the blood, it's as if I threw the blood. If I threw the blood, what's the fear ice? Then it's food. It's food, it becomes tamei. So what's the obvious answer? His machshava of pigul was not all the way at the end of the 5 minutes. It was in the beginning of the 5 minutes. As he shechted the animal, he had a machshava that he's going to eat this animal in 5 days from now. So there's never a moment that he could have thrown the blood. As he shechted. When's the moment that he could have thrown the blood? Before he shechted? That doesn't count. The animal's alive. So as he shechted, it's too late. So there's never a moment, not even 1 millisecond, that he could have thrown the blood. Might have the pigul b'zrika? Lo, the pigul b'shchita. So the Gemara says, oh, shkoyach, I knew that. But I'm just trying to lead you into my question. I have a pigul b'zrika mai, so I'll go with you. But what happens if he did the pigul by zrika at the 5 minutes into the whole process? 5 minutes after he did shchita, he did a pigul when he did the zrika. So in other words, he had 5 minutes where he could have thrown the blood, and he didn't. But if you say that in that case, you're asking to me that what? That what? It could be Mikabel Tumah. Very good. In the case where the pigul was at the end, where there's a 5 minutes slot for him to, he was able to do zrika and he didn't. So he's able to, as if he did. And if he did, it is a kosher zrika. Kosher zrika, then the food becomes edible. Food becomes edible, Mikabel Tumah.
Isn't that a question? Every single case of pigul by zrika? You could say, oh, you could have done zrika, so you couldn't do it now, and there's no pigul b'chlal. Because my kavanah is to do zrika tomorrow.
Yeah.
But kol amar dizro, because they're a dummy, it's as if you did it now, so there's no pigul.
It should ruin the pigul?
Yeah.
No, that's basically what he was asking. Certain things use it and certain things not. Obviously you have to do right, exactly. Obviously you have to do zrika. You can't just say, oh, it's zrika. So the same exact question that we had before, basically. These are the two cases that we have. Yesterday, we learned two cases. A person did pigul when he was doing an animal. A person did pigul when he was doing a mincha. So what's the Gemara's question now? I have two cases that are much closer to each other. One, he did pigul by the shechita. That's what we just said now. Oh, no, we're talking about a case where he didn't have a moment to throw the blood. How is it possible? When he did it by shechita. But if he did it by zrika, if he had the pigul thought by zrika, then he did have a moment. He had 5 minutes. So I have two cases that's so much similar. Why are you jumping to mincha? One case is kachim, where it's not food, and one case is mincha, where it is food. I have two cases in shechting an animal. One is considered food, one is not considered. One is mekabel tumah, one is not mekabel tumah. How? One, I didn't have a moment to be able to throw the blood. How is that? Because my pigul was during the shechita all the way in the beginning, and one was all the way at the end, where I had 5 moments. Beni atati, mitzuyan. He asked the Gemara, same question we had before. Why are you jumping to another case? It's far-fetched. One case, a guy shechted an animal, number one on top right, shechted an animal. Case number 2, top left, is mincha. They're different things. One is Mesechtes Zvachim, one is Mesechtes Menachos. I'm thinking about it, it's different areas. In Mesechtes Zvachim, I have 1 and 2. They're both in animals. One is a shechita, one is a zrika. If the bad thought happened all the way in the beginning where there's not even a moment to do zrika, then it's not food. And it's not tummy. I have a pigul b'zrika, but if he had 5 minutes in between the shechita and the zrika, and that's when he was mefagel. But there was a 5-minute window where he could have done the zrika b'kashrus, so it's considered food. Considered food is mekabel tumah. Says Gemara, you're right, but I have a much bigger chiddush here. I much rather tell you a distinction between something that are almost identical. There's 2 shchitas. In the shchita, Rabbi Isai, in shchita, in step number 1, in the shchita, one shchita is considered food and one shchita is not considered food. How's that possible? Because guess what? Mincha is a shchita. The kmitza part of the mincha is shchita. How? Let's check this out. Look over here. The 4 avodas that you have on an animal that are on top is shchita, kabbalah, ilacha, zrika. The 4 avodas they have by a mincha is kmitza, putting it in a kli, the same thing, ilacha, and aktara. They line up with each other. The kmitza going like this to flour is like shechting an animal. So that's what I wanted to show you. What's the word I'm looking for? Not a distinction. Is a better the contrast. The contrast between 2 types of shchitas. Shchita on an animal, I cannot consider it food, but shchita, so to speak, on flour, I could consider it food as I do it. It's a big chiddush that it's sort of like a shchita, yet it's still considered food. How? Pigul b'mincha tzricha leah. I want to tell you that chiddush. even though the pickle happened during the kmitza. The claim is b'mincha k'shchita dam. The kmitza by a mincha is like a shchita by an animal. Afilo hachi, and nevertheless, by a mincha, I could make it tame. How? Because flour, before it came to the Beis Hamikdash, was flour and was edible. So in Mela, that's what we had yesterday. Anything that had a shas kosher had a moment of fitness before it came to the Beis Hamikdash. You were able to. An animal didn't have a moment of fitness. You were never able to eat it. The only time you were able to eat it is when you shecht it. Then it's already too late. Then it's already. It's not considered food. Fine. So that's that. That's Hakafa Aleph, or we're holding already Hakafa Gimel. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Ashi. I'm reading the Shmai the Kamid Rav Nachman. I said this over to Rav Nachman, and he told me, Afidu Temelon Lon Mamish. You could even say in Reb Shimon, it doesn't matter. Lina is literally Lina. In other words, Lina is before or after Zrika. It doesn't matter when, before or after. We already established that the pigul only happened in step number 1 by the shchita. Not true. The pigul could have happened on step number 4 by the zrika. He says, I want to tell you something. You started this year. Something that you're about to redeem, it's like it's redeemed. Something that you're about to burn, it's like you burn. Something that you're about to throw, it's like you throw. Not true. There's different distinctions. It's not a one rule for everything. It's not a blanket concept. The boy parik amrinan. Think about it. When a guy has a handful of flour for a mincha, what is he? He's about to. Then his wife calls him up. Ruvain, I need to make pancakes. And he's holding this thing that's kaddish in his hand. So what does he do? He says, all the kedusha that's in my hand should transfer to my $5 bill in my pocket. Did he do an action? No. He said something with his mouth. Memela, listen to this, it's very simple. Since you don't have to take action, all you have to do is say, the kedusha from here should go to there. So then it happens by itself. Even if you didn't do it, I could hear the logic that even if you didn't do it, it's as if you did it. Why? Because it's so simple. But anything they have to take a physical action, I have to get up and go, and then I have to throw it at the mizbeach. You didn't do that. So why is it as if you did it?
It's like mechusar maisa. It's a difference.
Yeah, it's a mechusar maisa. That's literally the words. Here, I'll show you Rashi. It's hard to see. Rashi's all here. He says the boy parak amad the mechusar b'diya laf kemaisa. He uses those words mechusar maisa, and they stick in mechusar maisa. Look how many oisiyos, tazvav, tazayin, kitzer. But that's what he's saying here. One is missing action. One is not missing action. And it actually makes sense logically. Something that's missing action, you can't say, oh, it's as if it happened. No, it didn't happen. Nafkamina of like, I want to build a building. I want to build. So it's as if it's built. No, it's not as if it's built. It takes 3 years to build a building. But I want to destroy the building. I just want to give it a little zetz in the corner like they do in Gaza. And the whole thing goes down. Maybe that is not a mechusar. It's a big, I'm just throwing it out. Like, some things you do say this concept, some things you don't. If it's easy, then you say it. If it's harder, then you don't. The bay parik, I mean, so you want to redeem it and it's just saying a word, that works. You got to say, if he wanted to, he could have thrown the blood. L'maisi, he didn't. It's mechusar maisa.
Pickle is okay with just machshava. It's not a maisa. Why not you wait till affect machshava?
Yeah.
And it's already considered pickle, as opposed to waiting to see that you actually.
First of all, pickle is the right. So the Torah says that's how it works.
That's the way it becomes pickle.
Right. No.
You didn't do a maisa. Here you're saying you need a maisa for it to be considered.
No. We're saying there's something else. We're saying the whole shear. This whole amud is all about where you're supposed to do something and you didn't do it, but since you could do it and you're about to do it, it's as if you did it. That's very different than machshava now. The Torah says you have to do X, Y, Z. The Torah says you have to do zrika, but you didn't do zrika. But I'm about to, so it's as if you did. That's a chiddush.
The same idea should apply to people. You didn't do the mice. You only had a thought of doing the mice.
No.
You have to do pickle with shchita or with kabbalah.
It has to be during a ma'isa. During a ma'isa, you have to have a machshava, but that's something else. Okay. Iboyi have a zarg lamer. Meisvei. All right. Here's another one. I don't know if this chart over here. Maybe I should have shown it earlier. let's see. Some of the stuff we learned already. In a paraduma, we said that you have a paraduma, you killed the you shechted a paraduma, and it's very normal that if somebody comes up with a larger, better paraduma, you redeem it. So in that case, you say, even though you didn't do it, kipadidami. Why? Because it's normal to do. It's oimid lepidyon. But by a mincha, we don't say it. So the Gemara made a distinction, a mincha and a paraduma. In other words, we're just trying to show that there's like 8 different things here, that sometimes you say it, sometimes you don't. By tuma, here we just said, okay, fine, I don't want to mix up the oilam, but here's a chart, if anybody wants to see a chart. I mean, the sarif, okay, fine. Says the Gemara, Meisvei, Klal Omer Yeshua, like 12, 13, 14 lines down. Klal Omer Yeshua, Kol Shahizal Shas Het Lekanim. So when the way it works in the Beis Hamikdash, if there's food that's owned by the Beis Hamikdash, and you eat it, you use it, what do you just do? Mi'ila. And what do you have to do? You have to pay a 25% penalty. You have to bring a carbon, the whole thing. Let's say it's food that went from being the Beis Hamikdash, it went to being the Kain's. Any Kain could eat it. And then you went ahead and you grabbed the steak and you ate it. Is that Mi'ila? No, it's not Mi'ila. Why? Oh, because there's no more Kedusha on it. The Kedusha of the Beis Hamikdash went away. Now a human being is allowed to eat it.
That's just Gezel.
Gezel, correct. Not from anybody in particular, from the whole Shevet, yeah. So, but what about if it was available to a Kohen to eat for a moment? So also, since it was available to the Kohen for a moment, so the Kedusha flew away, and Memela shouldn't be Mila. Klal Omer Yeshua, Kol Shahoisel Shas Heter LeKohanim. There's a moment that the Kohen could have eaten it. Ein Moyalim Boy. There's no Isser of Mi'ila. To me, it was always confusing as a bacher. Ein Moyalim and Moyalim. Moyalim means like almost you should do Mila, but Moyalim Ba means there's an Isser Mi'ila on it. The Kohen was never able to eat it, so it remains the Beis HaMikdash's and remains the Rebbeinu Shalaylam's. So Moyalim Ba, there's an Isser Mila. What does it mean? It was available to the Kohanim? Shalana. In other words, it was mutter to the Kohen, but now it became also because it was overnight. It was mutter to the Kohen v'shenit, it became tamei. It was mutter to the Kohen v'shiyatza. It went outside of the Beis Hamikdash, so nobody could eat. What does it mean that it was never available to the Kohen? In other words, he had a machshav of pigul. It's in his head. As he did shchita, he thought to himself he's going to eat it outside of the allotted time. He's going to eat it in a week from now. He said, I'm going to eat it in Bet Shemesh, even though he's not allowed to. The Kabbalah Saddam was done by a kind that's puzzle, a balmum. The Zarga is done on a balmum through the blood, or through the blood. But what does it say? These 3 things happen. Now, my love, lana mamish. So when the Gemara says over here, lana mamish, the Gemara means that even the blood, there was a lean on the blood. In other words, there's no zrika yet. So what's the question? There's no zrika, but you could have done zrika. It happened before the night. It went through the night. The blood went through the night. The meat went through the night. And that's bad. It's called lina. It's overnight. But at the end of the day, he could have thrown the blood. And if he could have thrown the blood, the Kohen could have eaten it. And the Kohen could have eaten it, so it's not Kaddish anymore. It's not the Beis HaMikdash's. If the Kohen could have eaten it for 1 minute, then it's not, why is there Mila? Since I could have thrown the blood, I could have, it's as if I threw it. So it's as if I threw it, then the Kohen could eat it. If the Kohen could eat it, there's no lina. It's the same concept as we said before. Sorry, not lina, mi'ila. I'm just reading inside. The boy have a zaraku. He could have thrown the blood. V'ktani de'im moyalim. Why? But ktani ein moyalim. It says mefurish that it is kizarik dami. Nachamal.
Which case?
No. Again.
Which case?
It's what I said. Just the outcome is different. You know, it's the concept is the same. Nachal. You have a Kohen who, if he's able to eat this food, then you don't. If you eat his steak instead, you're not over a mila. If he could eat it, what happened by us? All the blood was not thrown on the mizbeach. It went overnight, and that's considered as if the kohen could eat it. Why? But there's no zrika, so you must say that it could have been thrown. There was blood that had a shas kosher, it had a shas heter. Right before shkia, there was a pot of blood. There was no zrika on it yet. I'm asking you. You tell me, Mendy. There's blood. I could throw it on the mizbeach, but I didn't. And the blood went through the night. There was never a zrika. Is that considered that the kohen ate it or not? In other words, Yisrael comes along and eats the steak. Is he chayv amila or not? I'm asking you. What's the halacha?
It's possible.
You're right. It's possible. I'm asking you. Is it meila? Not if it's possible.
Therefore, it's not meila because it was never.
No. You're starting too late.
No.
Before
it became possible, I was able to throw it on the mizbeach.
Yes, you're able to.
אז זה קילו. אז היה לו ש"ס כושר. אז זה עבר עכשיו לכהנים. אז עכשיו לא מעלת יותר.
So it's as if it went to the kohanim for 1 minute. There's no meal. So what do I see? What do I see? I see that I do say it in something that requires a maisa. Before I said, if I throw it, no, that's too much. I have to throw it. So, and since I didn't throw it, it's as if I can't say because I have to take action. Or maybe you say mufurish, even if I have to take action, I do say because in fact, if you Yisrael eat this meat, you're not chayiv amila because it's as if he threw it already. Says Gemara Loi. No, you did throw the story is different. The story is not that he didn't throw the blood. He did throw the blood. There was a complete zrika. So in other words, the blood, there's no lina on the blood. The only psul that we have over here is lina. So Mela, yes, it was roy for the kohen. It was roy for the kohen. There was zrika. It was roy for the kohen, and that's why there's no mila. There was zrika, so it's roy for the kohen. There's a real zrika, not a fake, not a pretend zrika, halachic zrika. There's a physical zrika, and then therefore, at that point, it became the kohen's. And it became the kohen, it's no longer mila, because it's the kohen's. It's just, the problem is that it went through the night. What?
A basketball case is nicer.
Everything was done and nicer, exactly. Classic case of nicer. Nothing to tell you that Yisrael doesn't have to pay. That he's just a ganav and not this. That's the whole thing. That's a big chiddush. If it didn't say it, I don't know. Avalona mamish mai. What if he didn't do Zrikas Adam? He didn't do Zrikas Adam. According to what you just told me, it's because he did Zrikas Adam. That's why it went out of the Beis Hamikdash's possession, went to the Kohen's possession, and therefore, if Yisrael comes and chaps it, he didn't take from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He took from a Kohen. But what if he didn't do Zrika? Hachanam de Ma'elim. So would it be Meila. Hi, Kol Shehoya Lo Yishasa. So now the Gemara just asks a question on the Lashon. So let's just do this together outside. It's very simple. What happens if the blood was thrown? The blood was thrown. They threw the blood. So is it the Kohen's right now? They threw the blood. The moment they threw the blood, what happens? No, forget that. The Gemara says it has to do with Zrikas Adam. You're throwing something else in there. Why are you throwing a wrench in here? The whole Gemara, our whole sug is Zrikas Adam. It doesn't matter. It's available to the Kohen. It loses the Me'ila at that point. So when is it okay? When is it okay? Yesterday or right now? When I do Zrika right now, when does it become okay? Right now. So why are you telling me that in the past, a lashon of the past, shahaisa, it should say sheyeshloi. Right now, there's a shas hakoisher because right now I did Zrika. Right now it's the Kohen's. So that bothers the Gemara. That what? Let's just read inside. I call the lashon kol shahayaloi shas heter. Look at him. The lashon that it used to have a heter. That's not good. Why? Just say kol sheyesh lo shas heter. Look at him. It should say right now it has a heter. So it's muchach to what? That the Mishnah is talking about on a case where there was no zrika. Because if there was a zrika, the Mishnah would say, right now there's a shasa heter. The reason why it says that there was no zrika, because it had back then. Sorry. Elo, Omer Avashi, Mi'ila Tumakaromis. So he says, okay, what do you bring me a raya from this Kayan business? You can't bring me a raya from a Kayan. That what? By Tower Sugya. Why? Mi'ila Mishum Gdusha V'lav Gdushi. What by Mi'ila, it's not about is it food or not food. That's what we're talking about in our Sugya. Did it become food, not food? Is it considered food? By Mi'ila, it's a different thing. By Mi'ila is, does it have Gdusha or not Gdusha? What establishes the Isser by Mi'ila? Does it have does this piece of steak have Gdusha on it or not? If it has Gdusha, then you did Mi'ila, and you have to pay 25% and bring a carbon. If it doesn't have Gdusha, okay. So Lebasar, the pocket like Gdusha. So what happened over here? This could have blood. Okay, so you could do Zrikas Adam. So the Kedusha flies away, and the Kedusha can never come back. Once it flew away, and let's say they didn't do Zrikas Adam, you can't say, oh, let's bring it back. The Kedusha is gone. Even if there's no Zrikas Adam, and it never became Mutter to the Kayan, there's no Mila forever. Because once the Kedusha leaves, it leaves. But Tuma, Mishum Uchla, V'la Mishum Uchlahi. But when it comes to Tuma, is this thing susceptible to Tuma or not? It's whether or not this thing is edible. And this Roy Lizroik and not Roy Lizroik is not enough for it. Because you need Roy Lachila right now. There's a bunch of, you have to be goris here. The Bach takes out words. I'll just read it, I think, the way the Bach says it. If he literally does Rika, then you made it physically food. Then it's physical food. So physical food becomes tummy. Heicha, the Eli Zarik, take out all these words, Bai, Matzi. The bottom line is, if you didn't do Zrika, so if you did Zrika, it's food. If you didn't do Zrika, it's not food. It's not food, it's not tummy. Okay, so now it gets easier from here. It's a new, basically almost like a new sugya. Attached to the previous sugya, it's like new. Amevi Asham Talui. What's the story? A person is not sure what he ate. He ate something, and his wife said, "What did you do?" She said, "I ate a piece of fat, the gala." She says, "Are you sure? I had a piece of chaylev over there that I was going to give to the guy. You crazy?" He says, "But I don't know if I ate the right or the left. I don't know." The pasuk doesn't know. It could have been chaylev, it could have been nothing. It could have been mamish, something mutter, something yishmak, gala. So what do? If he knew for sure that he ate chaylev, his wife said, "You ate chaylev," what does he do? Brings a chatas. But if he can't bring a chatas, what does he bring? Dani, a asham talui, a hanging asham. What does it mean, hanging? If I find out tomorrow that I didn't eat it, I figure it out. I take a step back, I look at the video, then I don't have to bring it.
Gala is also a sir to eat.
That's at least about the shaksu. I don't know if you have to bring a chadas for that. Just 10 people just left the share because of what you just said. Shkoyach, thank you. Okay. Yeah. So basically, there's three options here, Rabbi Isai. There's three options. Either, if you find out that you did not eat, you get the beautiful news, you didn't eat it. In fact, the babysitter, she comes, she's Goya, the cleaning lady, she says, I took the chaylev, I know, I took it, I ate it, and you ate the good stuff. So either the Asham Talui becomes a regular animal. Mamish goes right back to where it came from. Zero Kedusha, nothing. Why? Because you made a mistake. Or, I'm telling you this because you'll see in the video, there's three belts, like in the airport, 3 belts. Belt number 1 says Chulin on top, Mamish Mutter. Belt number 2 is Kevis land. Yirachi Stoiv. Belt number 3, let's see in the video. It's Mamish Moerdik.
La vie en rose. Magnifique.
It is
Oh, absolutely! Yes!
You get some mum. Yirachi starve until you get some mum, and then you redeem it. Givaldik. So what happened? They thought they ate shalom with chaylev. It turns out they got a tremendous simcha not. So now what do you do with the Hashem Talui? So Shita number 1 says, he found out that it's not, he wasn't over the Aveira, Yetzi v'yira beider. It's mamish chulin, don't worry about it, put it right back in the pen. Divrei Reb Meir, it's not a problem. Chacham say, yire, achi stoev, you put it on a line going down to the airport, you make sure it breaks its leg. You take the money that you sell it, take the money and you buy what? Ketzla Mizbeach, the dessert for the Mizbeach. Why, says Rashi? Because you can't just put it back in the pen. A person, he's worried that he did an Aveira. Gomor Magdishle, says Rashi. I don't have that. Okay, fine. He was already asking him to do it. Rebbe Lezer Omer Yikra, make it a carbon that's one of the 3 belts over there. Shemeni Ba Ached Zeh Hareu Ba Ached Acher. If it's not for this, it's like a father-in-law goes over to his son-in-law, gives him a smack in the face. Son, what did I do? He says, I'll tell you the truth, I don't know, but I'm sure you deserve it for something else. So, you know what? You didn't do this Aveira. Trust me, there's another Aveira that it's good for. So Mamela, what? Just shecht it as a regular carbon. You like that joke? No, I made that joke up. Mamish, Emes. I put it in the ChatGPT. I said, you ever heard the joke? He says, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, with the kid. I just changed it to father-in-law. Yeah. Oh, so it's the answers. Oh.
In the middle, that's why I didn't say it.
When, if he already shechted this Hashem Taloi, Hadam Yishafech, the blood must be spilled. The oil that was here for Zvachim, what does it mean it was spilled? Where do you spill it? Where do you spill it? Rabbi Sai. In the Amo. Right next to his bath, you spill it in there. V'habasi Yisaref, and you burn the meat. Why do you burn the meat? Because it's like Chum Bazar. Don't bother eating it. What about Nizrak Adam? The blood was already on the Mizbeach, and you found out that you didn't eat chaylev. Habasi Yachal, so eat the meat. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Afilu Adam B'kois. If there was Kabbalas Adam, the Kohen received the blood in a cup. Yizarek, keep on going. You found out now that he didn't eat chaylev. Keep on going. Spray the blood on the mizbeach. V'habasi yachlin kiriyot. V'omer Rava, and let's just get to the thing. What? Yeah. V'habasi yachal. Okay. V'omer Rava. Rabbi Yosef B'shidus Rabbi Shimon Amar. This has to do with the Yisugi. That what? Dama kalayim elizrak is argdami. That what? You have blood in a cup. You didn't throw it, but it's as if you threw it. You threw it, then it becomes like it's edible, and Mamish ties into our sugya that Kolaim and Lizrik Yizargdami, that you do say the concept that it's as if you threw it, even though you have to take action. Turning of the Daf, Adar Global, specialist in international financial services, Chaim Milrad, Refu Shlema, Imi Mirasi, Frada Letel Baschana, Besoich Shar, Choli Yisrael. Says the Gemara, no, not a raya. Midu Taima, you think the reason is Kolaim and Lizrik Yizargdami? No. I have another reason. What's the reason? What happened there? The blood went into the kli. Oh, that kli, not because I'm able to throw the blood, it's as if I threw the blood. No, the kli gives it special powers. It's as if it was already the it allows you to be makriv with the kli. Then this is the question I asked you guys before. If you say the concept, anything that's thrown is as if it's thrown, so therefore, let's continue the logic. Anything that's about to be burnt is burnt. So noisar apara, I have the noisar, I have leftover meat that I'm mechuyev to burn. Or a para duma that I burn, I need the ashes. How come the halacha is that if a person, the Tameh touches the paraduma, it becomes Tameh. Why? After Ba'alma Ninu, let's just consider that halachically, just a bunch of ashes. This is the thing we had yesterday. I'll remind you, I said it's in Chibas Kodesh Garalai, in Bar Keleliyot. That what? Special love that for Kedusha, we said it by wood, we said it by Lavaina, so over here also a special thing for Paraduma. You're right, 100%. It's burnt. But nevertheless, we'll make it Tameh. So the way it works is, we know, you have top level of Tumah, Avi Avoisa Tumah. Then under that, what do you have? Rabbi Isai, what do you have under Avi Avoisa Tumah? Ava Tumah, what do you have under that? Rishon under that? Sheni, Shlish, Revi, Chamishi, Paraduma, whatever. Okay. But there's also a concept called puzzle. It's not something touches this apple, it becomes puzzle. It doesn't have the power to keep on giving tumah to something else. It's not a rishon that makes something else a shayni, it's just puzzle. So, I can understand that you want to take this paraduma and say, even though it's a bunch of ashes, because of the love that we have for Kedusha, for Kodesh, I'm going to make it puzzle. Puzzle. You can't use it anymore. But to say that it has enough power to give something else to tumah, and if so, Tivshay the boy Rish Lakish, and if you want to say yes, it does have the power. This is boy Rish Lakish wants to ask the question. Menachos, you have flour. What do you do with the flour? You pour in a bunch of oil and you mix it. What's going to happen? I did it once in Shir. The last time we learned Menachos, I should have done it. You take a bunch of flour, that much flour, you pour in 2 cups of oil. You mix it. What's going to happen? You're going to have globs of flour like this big that not a single molecule of oil touched it. It's impossible that the oil should go everywhere. In order for something to become tameh, you need a liquid to touch it. So here's a glob of flour that liquid never touched. It should be immune to tumah. And he's asking, does it become tameh or not? And the answer should be, based on our Gemara, that it does become tameh. Why? Because of Chibas HaKodesh. Because I love Kedusha so much, everything in the mincha, even in the globs, in the tzarid, the Gemara calls it, this is the Bayrish Lakish. Tzarit Shemanacha is a glob of flour. Does it have? But yes, Chibas HaKodesh should make it. You have the answer right here, because Chibas HaKodesh it should become a Rishon Sheni, and not. But Elamai, that wasn't his question. His question was, does it become? You're telling me it become more than possible. Rishon Sheni. Says Gemara, no. He wanted to know, is it a real tameh? We're only talking about Chibas HaKodesh on the Rabbanan level. That he's masking that it becomes Tameh. You want to know even more than that, and that's why I didn't have an answer. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.